Hello, everyone. Today is May 19th, and it's cold. It's like 45 degrees, which is surprisingly cold for May. Today's high is like 66. This is summer. It's supposed to be warmer. I don't like it, man. Anyways, so we're going to talk about motorcycles. There we go. And whether or not they're in danger of facing absurd safety regulations. Now, obviously in the past, well, let's say 10 years, because I know BMW back in 2002, I believe, came out with a new model sport touring bike. I forget what their modeling is, so don't hold me to that. But they came out with a new model sport touring bike, and they put power brakes on it. So they're actually like a car. They have power brakes, and they also have ABS, and they're linked brakes, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're ABS and I know they're power, but I'm not sure if they're linked. So that was 10 years ago. Now, obviously, since then, pretty much every other manufacturer, including Harley-Davidson, has followed that suit, at least as far as the linked and ABS goes, or just ABS. So everyone pretty much has ABS as an option. Of course, it's not standard on most bikes, but it definitely is an option. So, which I think is a good thing, but we'll get to that. As far as safety features go, so you have people like, Ralph Nader, alright? So this is the guy who wanted to have roll cages put around motorcycles. Now, other than just being totally absurd for balance reasons and aesthetical reasons, and just stuff like that, a roll cage would be so dangerous around a motorcycle, it's not even funny. When you get in a motorcycle accident, now correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you, oh my god, she's not looking at all, there we go, okay. When you get in a motorcycle accident, the last thing you want to do is be attached to a motorcycle that has zero crash, impact, stopping capabilities. You know, we're not talking about a car here that like can stop crashes, you know, that can take the impact of crashes. No, this is a motorcycle. You know, it can't do that. You don't want to be near it when it's hitting stuff. Ideally, you're sliding down the road because that's a lot safer than impacting cars with your face. So the idea of being in a roll cage and then trapped in the bike and rattling around a roll cage because you're still not belted in, so you're gonna be, it's stupid. Anybody with half a brain, you don't have to ride a motorcycle, would understand that. Now, I don't really know exactly what his design was, or if he even had one, whatever. So I may be wrong. He may have made it safer than I'm saying it is. But the point is that's just stupid to put a roll cage on a motorcycle. You know, any motorcyclist doesn't, if you're worried about that level of safety and you know, not getting hurt, you wouldn't ride a motorcycle. I mean, obviously nobody wants to get hurt, but you would just drive your car if you want to be inside of a cage. I mean, obviously this is kind of a joke when people call cars cagers, but there's a reason why they're called that, because they have glass and metal and stuff surrounding you, so it's safer. I mean, it's why it's called a cager. So putting a cage on a motorcycle would kind of defeat a lot of the purpose to a lot of people of riding a motorcycle. And holy hell, is it cold out. I really should have worn my leather coat. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Obviously, without being absurd like a roll cage, you can only make a motorcycle so safe. There's only certain things you can do. Now, the other things I think, and I hope I don't give anybody in power any bad ideas, but the only other things I can think of that they might be able to do is start adding all the stupid electronic gadgets and making them required of you know, like active cruise control and like lane departure warnings and all that stupid stuff, like just the dumb, totally like car nanny stuff. And if they started adding stuff like that to motorcycles, that'd be kind of hard for the smaller bikes, but they could on the touring bikes theoretically, right? Um, and that would just be, oh my God. The last thing I want on a motorcycle is buzzers telling me there's a car next to me. I freaking know. I mean, I can just glance over. There's no blind spots on a motorcycle. So, absurd safety features. Do I think it's possible they could happen? Yeah, I do. What other things could happen? I don't know. Could they create, like... I wonder if they're going to start mandating riders wearing certain gear. I think that's the other thing. I think beyond the motorcycle, I'm wondering if they're going to make riders wear like parachutes or jetpacks if they come out with them, or something like that, where it like gets them away from an accident if something happens. Or if nothing else, because that's kind of far-fetched, I wonder if they'll make riders wear boots, above the ankle, if they'll make them wear jeans or some type of riding pants, a coat, full-face helmet. I'm wondering if they'll ever make the laws more strict on that kind of stuff. Because I think it's possible. There would be a lot of resistance to it nowadays, so it probably wouldn't happen. But again, I mean, you never know what the popularity of motorcycling might be in the future, or lack thereof, to a point where maybe these laws would actually be able to come into play. Because, I mean, you never know. If motorcycling became less popular, there'd be less people, theoretically, to basically say, no, screw you, this is a ridiculous law. And it could happen. I mean, the reason I even come up with this video is because cars have been going through this, in my opinion. Their safety features aren't so absurd, in my book, as they are unnecessary and taking away from the driver using their skills or forming their skills to drive correctly. Because when you give somebody backup cameras and backup sensors and blind spot sensors and braking sensors for cars in front of them if they stop, you get to a point where if the driver uses all those things correctly, so they're still a very attentive driver, but they use all that stuff, well, then you just created a mega driver, which is cool. But the problem is most people suck at driving. And then if they have all those features, they just think to themselves, oh, I don't have to worry about this, this, and this now, because the computer will take care of it for me. And maybe that's a very pessimistic way to look at it. And maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like this is true because I still see the same crap. I can see that little blind spot indicator on the mirror. I can see that thing light up, and then somebody will blinker, start to move over into my lane. I'll rev my pipes and keep them in their lane. It's kind of ridiculous. Your blind spot meter is telling you there is something next to you, whether or not you can see it, and you don't even listen to it. So it's one of those things. If they just actually use their vision and their sense of driving skill, then they would have probably seen me there, or thought better than to make the move if they weren't sure. But instead, they just ignore everything and go for it, even if that indicator is lit up. Anyway, stay safe out there. Let's stay as safe as we can on motorcycles so that they don't even have a reason to give us these absurd safety features. Enjoy riding. And, hang on. Oh yeah, tunnel noise. And I'll catch you later. Peace, guys.